eventually the Marines left after their tours were done, and the Texas National Guard came out and took it over, and I did about 2 months of that, and then I actually hauled fuel in a tractor trailer. Did that for probably about another 3 months, and then the final 6 months that I was there, I was in a gun truck, like a Humvee with a 50 cal mag on it, doing actual security for the tractor trailers that were hauling the fuel.
My main concern was the search and rescue side of it, so luckily, we'd only engage whatever threats we were encountered with. We didn't really have to go on patrols and kind of just wait like a lot of these guys. We had a kind of a point A to point B mission, or like a grid set that we'd have to follow, and it'd be just like as if you're looking for something in your house. You start at one corner of the room or wherever you think the likelihood is of finding it, and kind of just the laws of probability kind of just scan out from there. And we kind of had a general area of where we were going, what we were looking for, who we were looking for, and a time frame, and just kind of figure it out and just search every grid until we found whatever we were looking for.
A recon platoon. So we would, the main mission of a reconnaissance platoon is to go out and gather intel and then bring it back so that the high command can make decisions and move the large elements around and do some battle tactics, I guess. But over in Iraq, we weren't so much in a traditional role like the majority of the Army previous to us. So we kind of got thrown into a mix of everything, and basically we just do many patrols, driving around different neighborhoods and showing a show of force, letting the civilians and bad guys know that we were in the area and that we'd be in that area for a while. So basically just a lot of combat patrols and getting hit by roadside bombs and things of that nature, and trying to keep the peace when we could.
When I went over there in OIF-1 in 2003, I was actually the executive officer for an HAC company for the brigade, for the 159th Aviation Brigade. And so while many of my compadres were able to fly Chinooks, up into Mosul and things like that, well, me being the executive officer for an HAC company, headquarters company is what that is, I got the convoy. So I convoyed from Kuwait all the way up into Mosul, which is in northern Iraq, like I said before. So, I got to experience Iraq on the ground, moving up. So that was very interesting. An executive officer is basically the company commander's right-hand man. He should be able to take over the company if the company commander's indisposed, and then the XO tracks logistics such as vehicle maintenance, supply requisition, various things like that.
I was a medic for an ambulance. Like I said, we were in an ambulance detachment of like 10 people. So we had an NCOIC who was in charge of the whole show. We had one guy who was an assistant NCOIC who oversaw things when the NCOIC wasn't in the top. And then we had 4 crews of 2 people. So it was an ambulance driver and a medic. And I was the medic of my ambulance.
We actually, our company was broken into 3 separate missions. We were all in the Mosul area, but we had one company that just did supply and maintenance of our vehicles. We had another company that did protection duties for VIPs, the commanding general of Task Force Olympia. They also brought in the senators that came over. They escorted them around. So they were basically assigned to a protective mission. We had another platoon that was assigned to checking the IP, the Iraqi police stations, and normal patrols, quick reaction. My platoon was assigned to the Mosul detention facility, where we conducted detainee operations, transferred, accepted, released detainees throughout the time there. And then when we weren't doing that, we were on a patrol, quick reaction mission.
Well, I was assigned as an assistant gunner on an M240 Bravo gun crew, and then they figured out that we're not going to need to, set up tripods and all that stuff, so they made me assign me as my lieutenant's driver. And that I just started hating that because I hate driving to begin with, and it's just like you're up before everybody else. Got to do what's called a PMCS. It's the primary maintenance and checks and services. Like you got to get up at like 4:30 every morning and do that, before everyone even ready to get up and go to breakfast or something like that. And it just like got so old. It's like, why am I the only one up here doing this every morning? This sucks. And I talked him into it. I talked to my lieutenant. He's like, well, yeah, I'll let you do something different, So that's about it. I became the RTO, and that really got me turned on to the whole becoming an officer thing. I came back here and joined ROTC, interacting with the town leaders and stuff like that, and you get to make the difference.
I guess every day we are out on patrol. We don't go out and have to clear. We do route clearances and clear sectors. So every day we were interacting with civilians. Everyone seemed, in the city I was at, everyone seemed really friendly and, glad we were there. I had a pretty positive experience with them. I never really, everyone would come out of their houses and, wave and